Let's jump right into this explainer and discover exactly how humanity went from dreaming up ancient myths to actually building modern artificial intelligence. We hear the term AI absolutely everywhere today, right? But to really grasp where this technology is heading, we need to trace a journey that spans literally thousands of years, all sparked by the absolute game changer that is Boolean logic.
It's honestly fascinating to think that way back in 1637, René Descartes wasn't just penning catchy philosophical quotes. He was actually proposing what we could call an early intelligence test. He basically argued that even if a machine physically looked exactly like us and perfectly imitated our movements, we'd still know it wasn't human if it couldn't arrange words meaningfully or act from true understanding. So the whole dream of a thinking machine really starts right here, deeply rooted in human philosophy.
Section 1. Dreams of Artificial Beings, the Mechanical Era.
Okay, so the dream of artificial life actually evolved straight out of Greek mythology and into the hands of real, brilliant inventors. We start in ancient Greece with myths of Hephaestus, the god of smithing, forging mechanical men. But by the Middle Ages, people were actively trying to build them. In 1206, Al-Jazari designed what we think is the very first programmable humanoid robot. It was essentially a boat carrying mechanical musicians, entirely powered by the flow of water. Fast forward to the 1500s, and there's Leonardo da Vinci building a literal night automaton that could wave its arm and move its mouth. No way, right? But it's true.
For centuries, the obsession remained totally focused on transforming physical, inanimate matter into a living mind. You see this everywhere. Ancient alchemists tried to transform basic elements into something rare and powerful. Jewish folklore tells the story of the golem, a protector sculpted from mud and brought to life. And of course, by 1818, you have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein exploring the reanimation of dead flesh. Humanity was clearly desperate to create life, but you know what they were missing? They lacked the mathematical language to make that creation actually think.
Moving on to Section 2, Translating Thought into Math, the Philosophical Buildup. We can trace this incredible baton pass of ideas across history, where philosophers slowly started realizing that rational thought could be structured just like geometry or algebra. Back in the 4th century, Aristotle introduced syllogistic logic, which is just drawing logical conclusions based on a couple of true statements. Then, in the 1600s, Thomas Hobbes took that and said, hey, thought is actually symmetric to math. Right after that, Gottfried Leibniz took Hobbes' ideas even further, laying the very foundation for binary language, because he realized computing would be way easier using fewer digits.
So the absolutely crucial point Hobbes was making here in his book Leviathan is that human reasoning is, at its core, just biological mathematics. He taught that adding together two names creates an affirmation, and adding affirmations creates a demonstration. He was literally trying to decode the human brain as if it were a mathematical engine.
By the 1840s, modern computing officially kicks off with Charles Babbage and his mechanical analytical engine. But here's the catch. Even with this massive mechanical computer, the world's very first programmer, Ada Lovelace, correctly pointed out that it had zero capacity for original thought. This became famously known as Lovelace's objection. She wrote that the machine could follow our analysis and do whatever we ordered it to do, sure, but it had no power to actually anticipate truths on its own. And honestly, that is a debate we are still having about AI today.
Section 3. The Boolean Logic Revolution. The Turning Point.
Now this is where everything shifts. In the 1850s, George Boole changed computing forever. He basically took Aristotle's old logic and abstracted it, completely throwing out standard math in favor of simple and/or operations that only output two things, true or false. He essentially replaced multiplication with and addition with or. This abstraction, this completely new way of looking at logic, was the absolute first step in giving computers a true ability to reason.
Boole's new math was a total game changer. Why? Because researchers quickly realized that his concepts of true and false perfectly mirrored the physical world of electrical circuits. Think about it. A switch is either closed or open. It's a 1 or a 0. This realization birthed what we call combinational logic. You could wire together physical logic gates that output a specific result based entirely on their inputs. For the first time, the complexity of human thought was being translated directly into physical electrical signals.
Which brings us to Section 4, Layers of Automation Theory, Building the Brain.
So these 4 steps here represent automaton theory. It maps out exactly how we evolved from those basic true and false gates all the way up to the modern computers sitting on our desks today. You start with combinational logic. Then you organize that into finite state machines. Next, you give it memory with a push-down automaton.
And finally, you reach the Turing machine. Let's break down how these layers actually stack up.
To really wrap our heads around that second step, just think of a standard kitchen oven. It shifts between very specific states like heating or idle, based on logic triggers. A finite state machine is just a black box set of logic gates. If you press a button, or if a temperature sensor reads that it's gotten too cold, that input value triggers a state transition. It is literally Boolean logic governing real-world physical actions.
Now, step 3 is where things get really interesting. This step added the incredibly crucial element of memory. It allowed computing systems to actually remember their previous states, all thanks to the invention of flip-flop circuits. Brilliant pioneers like William Eccles, Frank William Jordan, and John von Neumann realized that for a machine to even approach intelligence, it couldn't just live in the present moment reacting to triggers. It absolutely needed an abstract relationship with memory. And then the final piece to the foundation. Alan Turing proved that instead of hard-coding a machine to just do one specific task, you could design a system to compute literally anything as long as you gave it the right instructions. In 1936, his universal Turing machine took Boolean logic to its absolute peak. It reasoned through abstract symbol manipulation, which, by the way, is exactly how symbolic reasoning works in the human brain. This concept became the undeniable basis of all modern computing.
Section 5. The dawn of AI. Code becomes mind. Armed with this new computing power, we quickly transitioned from impressive physical gimmicks to philosophically rigorous tests of actual intelligence. Back in 1939, you had the Electro robot blowing people's minds at the World Fair, but let's be real, it was just imitating intelligence. But by 1950, Turing proposed his famous imitation game. He argued that if a machine acts as intelligently as a human, like if you converse with it in a chat room and genuinely believe it's a person on the other end, then for all intents and purposes, it is intelligent. We were finally leaving mechanical parlor tricks behind for actual cognitive tests.
The final major piece of the puzzle dropped when Claude Shannon mathematically proved that human logic and brain processes could be entirely replicated using binary computing. His 1948 information theory is the backbone of literally every digital system we use today. It fundamentally meant that by using Boole's simple ones and zeros, trues and falses, we could break down and replicate the mechanisms of the mind.
30. That's the astounding number of complex mathematical theorems out of 52 that the 1955 logic theorist AI program successfully proved entirely on its own. Written by computing pioneers Alan Newell and Herbert Simon, this program operated on the massive realization that a machine manipulating numbers could also manipulate symbols, effectively mimicking the very essence of human thought. The creator of that program made this profound statement: a system composed of matter can have the properties of mind. He proved that the ancient alchemist's dream, that old obsession with turning matter into mind, was finally coming true through code. The ancient Greeks, the brilliant craftsmen of the Middle Ages, they all wanted this, but it was Boolean logic and digital computing that actually, finally, made it a reality.
And right alongside that incredible software milestone, a guy named Marvin Minsky built the very first hardware neural network back in 1951. This rapidly accelerated our push toward the complex AI we know today. Computers were becoming immensely more capable, logic was being completely abstracted, and the culmination of centuries of human thought had officially given birth to the field of modern artificial intelligence.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to take a second and look at the computer or phone you're using right now. Ask yourself, is it truly intelligent? Or is it simply the ultimate mind-bending evolution of George Boole's simple true/false logic? Are we actually dealing with a mind, or just billions of true and false gates firing at lightning speed? Keep that question in the back of your head the next time you use AI. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.